There's plenty of things you can do to improve your overall efficiency and reduce the risk of a crash, but it all begins right here before you even hit the road. In just the amount of time it takes your vehicle to warm up, you can carry out a pre-trip vehicle inspection. This can greatly reduce the likelihood of your vehicle being taken out of service at roadside checks and certificate of fitness inspections. It will prevent unnecessary wear and tear, improve fuel efficiency, and it could save someone's life. It could even be your own life, given that about a third of all heavy vehicles roll over in a crash. There's no reason to put yourself and other road users at risk. You've got to make sure your vehicle is safe before you leave the yard.
I was going around a 65k corner and I knew the corner and I slowed down to about 45. As I was halfway around the corner, there was an equipment malfunction, an airbag in the cab burst. And at that point, it just all turned to custard. I felt completely helpless. It was out of my control. There was no way I could stop it. I knew it was going to hurt. I didn't think it was going to result with a broken back and put me out of work for 2.5 years. It was very, very scary though. And I did wonder whether I'd be getting home to see my family in a hurry. To anyone who hasn't been through an accident, I hope you don't go through one. You never know what's going to happen. It can be a malfunction, it could be somebody else's fault. So you have to really take a lot of caution out there.
So who should carry out pre-trip inspections? The answer is everybody. Research shows that drivers who don't carry out these inspections usually can't be bothered and don't care about safety, and that makes it unsafe for everyone. If you're part of a large team, a pre-trip inspection is every bit as important.
We're out there amongst the public. If we're swapping lanes and the indicators aren't working, then you're cutting vehicles off. They're ringing us up saying, hey, your truck's cutting us off on the motorway. It eliminates all that. I mean, 10 minutes to check your truck over in the morning is nothing.
We've got some very good instances of tampering with heavy motor vehicles in yards and even secure yards.
Because there has been a problem over the years in different companies that people go around loosening other people's wheel nuts, you know. Might be just idiots in town just having a thrill, but yeah, they have been known to fall off.
Tow couplings get released, container locks get switched into position of unlocked. We also have load binders that are actually loosened and also taken. The poor driver takes the can for that if something goes wrong. So we'd advocate good walk-around check procedures for the driver. Even if he did check it the night before, makes good sense to actually check it again.
So, what should you be looking out for when you do a pre-trip inspection of your truck or truck trailer? When approaching the truck, glance underneath it to see how it is sitting, or if there are any obvious leaks such as water or oil. Inspect your coolant and fluid levels, and check your water and oil. Make sure that you clean the dipstick before testing to get an accurate reading. Now enter the cab and check that the truck is in neutral and the park brake is on. Start your truck up. Once started, check all gauges, particularly the oil pressure and alternator. While it is warming up, it is a good time to check your vehicle over. Turn on your lights with headlights on dip and indicators to the left. A good place to start is the left-hand front corner, where you check the side lights, dipped headlights, number plate, front indicators and top cab lights. Check the registration, certificate of fitness, certificate of loading and road user license are all current. If you are stopped by the CVIU and you can't find these, it'll take you longer to get back on the road, and if any have expired, it may result in prosecution. Check all tyres for damage, wear and inflation, and have a look at the wheel nuts. Are there any signs that they are coming loose, such as rust marks by the nuts? Some of you will be driving in pretty rugged conditions, in which case you'll have to check your tyres more often. You may want to do this during a stop in your journey, but you'll definitely want to do it if the conditions have given you any cause for concern. Throughout the check, be watchful for anything loose on your truck which could lead to damage if left unattended.
Some of the operators we work with have already noticed by just introducing driver walk-around checks the amount of breakdowns that have reduced. Those issues are actually picked up mainly by the driver and can save the company huge amounts of money.
Continue down the left-hand side. Check that all spring leaves are present. When you are at the wheel with the hubometer on, take a note of the reading and check this with the RUC licenses. Check all mudguards are firmly attached and that the load of your truck is secure, that all restraints are used correctly and the appropriate restraint values are applied. Also, check drawbeam and drawbar certification. If driving with a trailer unit, check all of its tyres, mudguards and suspension. And ensure that its hubometer is covered by the RUC licence. At the rear of the vehicle, check that all lights are working and that the tailgate is secure. Now is a good time to switch the indicator to the right prior to inspecting the right side of the vehicle. It's also a good idea to get someone to apply the brakes for you to check that these lights function too. Work your way back towards the cab, checking all tyres and mudguards along the way. If driving a combination vehicle, depending on the combination you are driving, you also need to check the trailer connection. For semi-trailers, check that the kingpin is fully locked and check the turntable to make sure that the trailer is sitting flat on the fifth wheel. For truck and trailer combinations, check that the towing connection is locked. Make sure all the trailer plugs, both air and power, are connected securely and that there are no leaks. If there is a toolbox or dunnage stored on the trailer, make sure it's secure. Give the air tank a quick bleed to clear any moisture that might have occurred overnight. Check that the batteries are secure. Check your front indicator. You're nearly ready to go now. Climb safely into your cab. And don't forget your safety belt. Many drivers believe in a crash it's better to be thrown from a truck, but research shows you're 4 times more likely to survive a crash in a truck if you are wearing one.
When I had my big accident that broke my back, if I'd been wearing my safety belt, things would have been a lot different. So yes, you should wear a seatbelt.
Check your windscreen wipers and washers work and that your mirrors and seat are correctly adjusted. Check your horn. Now accelerate your truck forward and jam on the brakes to test them. By now your truck will have warmed up and you're ready to hit the road. In those few minutes you've checked everything to make sure your truck is running efficiently and it's safe.